Especially what's going to happen today in the Rajya Sabha, because this is the second day of the mega showdown that is now expected in Parliament between the ND and the opposition over the Waqf Amendment Bill, as the centre is now looking to get the bill passed in the upper house of the Parliament. And that debate that last evening lasted for more than 12 hours, and it was past midnight when the centre actually managed to get the bill passed in the lower house. Now in the Lok Sabha, the Waqf Amendment Bill that has been passed with 288 votes that were casted in favour, while 233 MPs voted against the passing of the bill in the Lok Sabha.
I think Waqf Amendment Bill has been pending for a long time. We were trying to bring it, but because of the procedures in JPC, it took some time. Otherwise, we wanted to pass in the last session. But after going through the Joint Parliamentary Committee and wider consultation, it has been very well handled, and the bill has seen all kind of situation. So I can say the situation is quite mature to pass the bill. So we have finally passed the bill, and the opposition parties had raised the issue that is expected, and we have clarified to the extent we feel it is enough. So with good strength, we could pass the bill in the very late night, I could say early morning. Early morning. After a long time, I have witnessed Parliament session running beyond 2 a.m. in the morning, and all the members there and participated in the voting. So it's an important bill, and it deserves this kind of marathon discussion.
Do you think that you will be having a smooth sailing in Rajya Sabha as well tomorrow?
Yeah, the composition in the Rajya Sabha is well in our favor, so there is no any kind of problem with regards to numbers.
And do you think that all the opposition suspicion and obviously fear mongering about snatching the lands of Muslim will be put to rest after today?
See, all kind of this misnomer, miscampaign, propaganda, these are almost been cleared after putting our position on the floor of the House. I think the nation is clear about our government's very good intention to bring this bill for the welfare of the Muslim community, especially the underprivileged, the backwards, the women, children. For them, it will be hugely benefiting, as well as it will prevent the misuse which we have.
So every time as far as a bill is taken up, Pratibha, it all comes down to the numbers. The first test that has now been passed in the Lok Sabha, now comes the Rajya Sabha test. Of course, you have also guests and experts joining you there live at the Vijay Chowk, and they will have to really say on how they are now looking forward to today's debate. Over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amita. And, like you mentioned, we are live from Vijay Chowk. Today is going to be the real test for the Waqf Amendment Bill, because it's going to come up in the Rajya Sabha. After about 12 hours of discussion in the lower house, it was passed. We saw some fiery statements from the opposition leaders, some going on to say that this is going to target the Muslim community, that this is a bid to defame them, while the government issuing a clarification time and again that this is a need of the hour for transparency. There are some of the contentious issues that have been removed from the previously existing Waqf bill. It has been passed in the Lok Sabha, today in the Rajya Sabha, but we are going to be talking about what are the key issues that have been raised, including, remember, as the government has said, that it's about accountability. So the Waqf properties need to be registered. Apart from that, also saying that if any person wants to donate property as a religious, charitable, their charity, then it has to be from their own properties. The government saying that this charity cannot come from the government land. To talk about that, we have guests joining us this morning, Dr. Shalini Ali, the national convener of the Muslim Rashtriya Manch and the author of the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024, Respect for Islam and Gift for Muslims. Thank you for joining us. We have Dr. Mumtaz Alam Rizvi, political analyst, and we also have Anish Gawande, who is the national spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. I want to begin with Dr. Mumtaz by asking, now that the bill has passed the Lok Sabha test, today it is going to come up in the Rajya Sabha. But we heard some of the statements that were made by the opposition leaders, many of them, including Asaduddin Owaisi, who said that this is a bill that is intended to insult Muslims. Then you had Rahul Gandhi, who is saying that this is a violation of the constitution and it is a violation of Article 25, which gives freedom of religion. How does this bill actually oppose that? Don't you think that this is fear mongering?
Thank you. Actually, there are 5 or 6 points. Very important.
लेकिन इसका की कंटेंशन क्या है?
सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि जो सरकार की तरफ से कहा गया कि जैसे ही ये लागू होगा जितने मुकदमा वक्फ की तरफ से सरकारी जमीनों पे चाहे वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हो, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हो या म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, वो सब खत्म। वो और क्लेम जो होगा वक्फ बोर्ड का, वो क्लेम खत्म हो जाएगा। और कल अमित शाह है।
In fact, Amit Shah mentioned exactly that. I'll come back to you in just a moment. I want to ask her as well, because this is a claim that has been made by the opposition leaders. He has been saying as well, some of the key issues that they have been raising is, why is there a non-Muslim who is a Muslim who is a part of this board? They say that it interferes in their religion. They say that if this is property that belongs to Muslims, why is the government intervening in this?
There are key points which I want to make it clear, and I've been saying this not from a couple of months but even from last year when the Waqf Amendment Bill was put on the table. Number one, Waqf is a religious activity, but a Waqf board is an administration setup. You do not have any religion for the basis on any member who is a part of the administration setup. Today you can't go to the police station and say, I'm a Muslim, I want a police officer who is a Muslim. You can't go to the High Court and say that I want a judge who is a Muslim. So the same way for the administration setup, if you're having non-Muslims, that is only bringing in more transparency. And we've seen in the past 70 years, we've had the Waqf board in the hands of our Muslims. What have we achieved? Why has the upliftment of the Muslims not taken place? And more so, what is more important is that if you go on record of all the Waqf board properties which are given on lease, you will see about 65% of those properties are let out to non-Muslims. So if you're letting out and leasing out properties to non-Muslims, then why can't you have non-Muslim board members? Why are you so scared that if there are non-Muslims going to come in, there is going to be an issue of accountability? It's time we are answerable to our community. It's time we bring about a change. It's time that the Garib Musliman, the Musliman who needs upliftment, the Musliman who needs to get his education,
That is going
it's
to help
time.
those who are required. I want to ask you, because, what Amit Shah mentioned as well, and we've seen this happen with the opposition leaders walking in with the constitution. Do you agree in the constitution, in a democracy like India, to have rules which say that tribunal is going to have the final say and even courts can't come into something like some issues like this? Do you think it's acceptable in a democracy like India?
The challenge here is that what you're seeing unfold is hypocrisy. I agree. In an administrative role, you should not have religious-based distinctions. Then why was the BJP opposing any non-Hindus in the Tirupati temple administration? Why was the BJP MP saying that there should be no non-Muslims even in the TTD administrations? No, this is the challenge. No, I'm sorry, but if you're making those same distinctions,
took a stand on that.
the problem is that the BJP MPs, no, it was the BJP MPs. No, the BJP MPs themselves.
With the government also making it clear that this is not about religion, because this also pertains to property. Yes, because it does not pertain to religion in this case, it pertains to properties. Why bring in religion into it? That's the question as well. I want to play out what Amit Shah has said as well. We'll come back to that debate. I want to play out what Amit Shah said as well, because this is a question that has been raised time and again by the opposition. If TTD cannot have non-Hindus to be a part of it, why is it that the Waqf board has non-Muslims to be a part of it? Now, the clarification that has come in is, these are properties. We are not talking about religion. It does not have anything to do with the practicing of Islam. This is merely about properties, and it comes under the ambit of the government. It cannot have once a Waqf, always a Waqf. We can't have that in a country like India. I want to play out what Amit Shah said in the floor of the House to the detractors. Here's his message.
कि वोट बैंक के लिए आपने किया था, हम खारिज कर रहे हैं, हम खारिज कर रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। अदालत में जाइए, जिसको ग्रीवेंसेस है इधर और साइड से, और अदालत न्याय करेगी। संसद का कानून है, सबको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे मतलब क्या है? कैसे बोल सकते हैं कोई हम कानून को स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे? ये कानून भारत सरकार का है, हर एक पर बंधन करता होगा और इसको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। देश भर के मुसलमान भाइयों बहनों को कहना चाहता हूं, आपके वक्फ में एक भी नॉन मुस्लिम नहीं आएगा। ये एक्ट में ऐसा कोई प्रावधान नहीं। मगर जो वक्फ बोर्ड है और वक्फ परिषद है, उसका काम क्या है? वक्फ की संपत्तियां मान्यवर बेच खाने वाले लोगों को पकड़कर इसके बाहर निकालने का।
So this was the statement by Amit Shah, where he said that it is not about religion. The government is not going to intervene as far as religion is concerned, saying that it is clear that this is about properties and there needs to be accountability. I want to ask you, Dr. Mumtaz, you were saying that there are some objections to it. So इसमें अब जब changes आ गए हैं, what is the key objection? Waqf by user हट चुका है, और अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि once a waqf, always a waqf, are you in favor of that?
No, I can favor because you know that the not only the waqf by user, but this government remove waqf once a waqf, which is very important. And second,
सर वंस अ
limitation
वक्त का मतलब ये है कि एक बार उसको डिक्लेयर कर दिया गया हो वक्त, तो फिर उसको कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता। क्या आप उसको सपोर्ट करते हैं कि अगर एक बार वक्त डिक्लेयर कर दिया जाता है प्रॉपर्टी, वेदर यू हैव द डॉक्यूमेंट्स फॉर इट और नॉट, यू सपोर्ट इट? आर यू इन सपोर्ट ऑफ दैट? क्या आप इसको सपोर्ट करते हैं? क्या डेमोक्रेसी में ऐसा चल सकता है कि ये अगर वक्फ कहलाता है तो अब वक्फ ही रहेगा, उसको कोई क्वेश्चन भी नहीं कर सकता?
नहीं,
सर ऐसे डेमोक्रेसी कैसे चलेगा, आप बताइए।
हमारी चीज है, हमने अल्लाह के नाम वक्फ कर दी है। अब दूसरा कोई इस पे कब्जा करना चाहता है, बेचना चाहता है, कैसे? ये मुमकिन ही नहीं। देखिए यही तो वक्फ है ना, वरना नाम ये क्यों होता है? एक बार हमने अल्लाह के नाम पे उसको वक्फ कर दिया, हम अगर वो वक्फ है और उसके तमाम दस्तावेज हैं, तो ये नहीं गवर्नमेंट नहीं, ये ठीक है क्या कि गवर्नमेंट जिस पे 100 रुपए 200 रुपए किराया दे रही थी,
प्रॉपर्टी है, अगर आपके पास रजिस्टर्ड प्रॉपर्टी है, आपके पास डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, तो आप अभी भी कर सकते हैं, कोई भी चैरिटी कर सकते हैं।
ऐसा है, मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ, चल रहे हैं, ठीक है, मैं उसकी बात अभी सबसे पहले कर रहा हूँ जो बहुत ज्यादा खतरनाक है उसको समझने। क्या कहा हमारे गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी ने कि जैसे ही ये कानून लागू होगा, ये तमाम जो मुकदमात, ये जो वक्फ की तरफ से क्लेम है, वो खत्म हो जाएगा। वो वक्फ की
नहीं कहा है, वो कहा है कि वो कोर्ट जा सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कहा। इनफैक्ट इट्स नॉट कमिंग इनटू इफेक्ट रेट्रोस्पेक्टिवली।
अगर आपकी वक्त की जमीनें हैं, अगर उसमें कोई मस्जिद मदरसा खानका है, उसको आप रजिस्टर करवाइए। दूसरी चीज, अगर आप वक्त करना चाहते हैं तो पहले आप शरीयत के हिसाब से, सरकार की शरीयत का लॉ इसमें अप्लाई।
इनफैक्ट a lot more to talk about as well. Registering of the property, can any person be opposed to the registering of the properties in the country? We're going to be talking about that as well. We need to slip into a very quick break here. We'll be right back. Heated debate, not just in the Lok Sabha, but here as well. We'll be right back after a very short break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Today, the Waqf Amendment Bill is going to be brought into the Rajya Sabha. It's going to be a big test in the upper house. But meanwhile, the fear-mongering and the claims from the opposition leaders continues. Now, Rahul Gandhi has tweeted on the same, and he says the Waqf Amendment Bill is a weapon that is aimed at marginalizing Muslims and usurping their personal laws and property rights. He claims that this is an attack on the constitution by the RSS. The BJP and allies are aimed at Muslims today, but sets a precedent to target other communities in the future. The Congress party strongly opposes this legislation as it attacks the very idea of India and violates Article 25, the right to freedom of religion. So this is a claim that has come in from Rahul Gandhi, who says that the Waqf Amendment Bill is an attack on the right to freedom of religion. That's the charge that has come in from Rahul Gandhi. Remember, yesterday on the floor of the House as well, the opposition leaders spoke. Rahul Gandhi was not among the speakers, but the Congress leaders said that this was a bill that was intended to insult the Muslims of the country. That's the charge that has been made by the opposition leaders.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, भाजपा जब भी कोई नया बिल लाती है तो वो अपनी नाकामी छुपाती है। जब से वोट में गिरावट आई है और खासकर उत्तर प्रदेश में भी, तब से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की कोशिश है कि अपना वोट कैसे संभाला जाए। तो ये वक्फ बिल जो लाया जा रहा है वो अपनी वोट बैंक को संभालने के लिए और समाज को बांट करके करके राजनीतिक लाभ लेने के लिए लाया जा रहा है। कि ये वक्फ बिल जो लेकर के आए कोई उम्मीद लेकर के नहीं आ रहा है। ये सोची समझी रणनीति का हिस्सा है, क्योंकि इनका जो वोट बिखर गया है ये मुस्लिम में भी बंटवारा चाहते हैं।
And I will request my parliament members also, they are fighting for walk-up today because the Jumla party is only one-point program to divide the country.
Tamil Nadu Assembly passed a resolution. The resolution was moved none other than the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.K. Stalin. The resolution unanimously passed. The stand of the court, our stand, the Waqf bill introduced by the Parliament against minority rights, against religious freedom, unconstitutional, contrary to the purpose of Waqf. If passed, it will cripple the Waqf institutions and harm the Muslim community.
हमें सौगाते मोदी में ईद की सवैयां नहीं चाहिए, हमें सौगाते मोदी में शिक्षा दे दीजिए, हमें सौगाते मोदी में रोजगार दे दीजिए, हमें सौगाते मोदी के अंदर मोहब्बत दे दीजिए। ये जो गोलियां छातियों पर लगती है ये मारना बंद करा दीजिए। हमें सौगाते मोदी में ये कानून देने का काम कर लीजिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। माननीय।
So this is what the opposition has been saying, that the Saugate Modi that comes in from the BJP, the Muslim community is looking at it with a lot of suspicion, saying there should be a long-term view to it. Now let's tell you about what are the key contentions that have been raised as well. One of the biggest issues that the opposition has spoken about is the fact that non-Muslims are also going to be a part of the board. The opposition says, why have non-Muslims to be a part of the board? We're going to be talking about that as well. Apart from that, the concept of Waqf by user has been done away with completely, and the bill now mandates every Waqf property to be registered. There is an objection to it as well. The question is, why oppose the registering of these properties? We're going to be talking about that, as well as the removal of the provision that gives absolute powers to the Waqf tribunal. Is it acceptable in the democracy? That's the question that the NDA has asked to the opposition leaders. And I want to ask you on that, because the opposition leaders, time and again, in fact, we've seen the opposition leaders, and I ask you this again, they walk into the parliament with a copy of the constitution and they say that this is a country that needs to follow the constitution. Is it right in a constitution to declare once a Waqf, always a Waqf? You can't even question it, that the tribunal is going to have a bigger say than even the courts in the country. Is it acceptable?
Waqf boards need reform. There's no doubt about that. Our own MP, Dr. Fawzia Khan, has said that they need reform. She's a Muslim woman on a Waqf board in Maharashtra. So when the government tells you there are no women on these boards, let them remember that there are women on these boards appointed by us, not by them, who've been in charge for so long. The problem we have is that the government's solution is not a real solution. You want to centralize power. You want to put the CAG in charge. The same CAG that's responsible for our country's economy. आप खुद की economy नहीं संभाल पा रहे, आप वक्फ बोर्ड संभालने जा रहे हो. Next you'll want to take over the temples. Next you'll want to take over the gurudwaras. Next you'll want to take over the churches. Why should there be central government control over any religious property? The state governments currently have control. Then you have very silly provisions that have been put in by this government. You have to be a Muslim for 5 years to give to the Waqf. Why does this provision exist? Tomorrow, if I want to give my house to Bangla Sahib Gurudwara, which is next to my house, even though I'm not a Sikh, I'm not stopped from doing that. Why should somebody be stopped from doing that if they're going to be giving to a Waqf? Now, you said registration. We're in favor of registration. We want digitization. But what is this 6-month deadline? This is demonetization 2.0, Notebandi 2.0. 6 mahine mein kar do, nahi to it's not valid. Why do you put these provisions in? So it's not about niyat, it's about niti. It's not about policy, it's about intent.
Okay, all right. Very quickly, I want a rebuttal from you on the charges that he has made, that this is about the control by the center. It's not about anything else.
Example, we've had the control over the Waqf board by Muslims themselves. What have they given? I just, as a matter of fact, heard this on a lot of channels where people have been saying that what has the Modi government given the Muslims for 11 years? I would like to cross-question you that what has the Muslims done for themselves? What have they done for the upliftment? What have they done for the education? What have they done for the medical facilities? Why are the Waqf lands just lying barren? What is happening with the Waqf land? How much Waqf land is there? What accountability is there? Secondly, most importantly, people are getting confused between a trust system and a board system. In a trust, you will have board of trustees according to the trust that has been registered. In a board, you will have the administrative services take place, and according to the administration section, religion is not a bar. Third, most important, you can't donate something which is not yours. In the Shariat, according to the Shariat, there are terms and conditions that a human being who is following Islam, who is a Muslim, can only donate 1/3 of his property or will it, as a matter of fact, to whoever and whatever choice of his own. Before that, he has to follow the Shariat laws, give the inheritance according to that to his family.
I want to ask very quickly the closing remarks from you, Dr. Mumtaz, कि इसमें key changes आपको क्या चाहिए जो वक्फ बिल में आ जाए?
हम लोग ये चाहते हैं कि जो हमारी ज़मीन है, जो वक्फ की ज़मीन है, वो वक्फ के पास रहे और उसका डेवलपमेंट हो, उसको छीने नहीं गवर्नमेंट जो ये कर रही है कि उसको छीन रही, क्योंकि हम लोग जानते हैं कि द गवर्नमेंट इंटेंशन इज नॉट इन फेवर ऑफ मुस्लिम्स. So
the question is whether the intent of the government is right or not, and this is what has been raised by the opposition as well. We have a lot more to talk about, but for the moment, let's shift our attention now to the tariffs that have been